Yeah, we are back again. Um, I bring you greetings once again, and I'm still L.A.M Wisdom, your inspirational speaker, your conference speaker. I'm open for all conferences, seminars, forums to inspire, to motivate, to lecture fellow youth members of the community and of the nation for greater and impactful achievement for oneself and for the nation and for the world at large. I'm here to talk about something. I know we all watch movies. I like blockbuster movies. I mean, action-packed movies, action movies. So I know a little about movies, and I know you also know a little about movies. One thing I seek to talk about this time around is every movie is inspired by stories, either fiction or real stories. I mean, stories that have happened in real life, and they portray it visually for us to see. So sometimes in the beginning of movies they say this is a true story. Sometimes they say this movie is inspired by this novel. I mean, a book written by an author, But whichever way, I believe every movie has got a story to tell. Every movie has got a story to tell, and then, as we all know, every movie has the antagonist and the protagonist. The antagonist is the one, the opposition man, who is always against the good things in the movie, and in the end, he either dies or, it. And I believe that movies that we watch are some way can be compared to the life that we are living. That our lives we are living are movies. And as I said earlier, some movies are inspired by true stories. And the life that we are living on earth here are true stories. They are a story to tell. We are telling them, and they are a story to tell also someday when we are gone. So everybody wants a good story to be told about him or her. That's I can tell for sure. Everybody wants, in as much as some tragedies and some circumstances beyond human control happens, but everybody wants a story to be told about him or her in a goodly fashion. So your life you live in, my life I'm living, it's a movie, it's a story I'm telling. And the way someone will tell your story, is different from the way you would want to tell it. So we have autobiography and biography. The way the autobiography is that you write it the way you feel like how the thing happened in your life, how you want to write it. And biographies are written by specialists, special authors and special professionals who can put works together to tell a story about someone. And I am thinking that my life I'm living here is a story I'm telling. The amazing thing is, I am living the story. I'm not gone yet. So I am in the making of my story. I am writing my story. I am putting together a story, a movie. And it amazes me. So how do I put out a story? How do I write a story that when somebody picks up that story, picks up that book, like the Anansi stories and the stories that we've read from the beginning of our life, like in nursery classes and whatever. When somebody picks up that story, how is that person going to tell that story? in a manner that I would. So here is this. I believe I am writing my own story, and that I need to write a story that undoubtedly, untouchably, and unutterably, no matter how you can alter, no matter how you can add or subtract from the story, it sounds so original. It sounds so original. It sounds so pure. It sounds so powerful that no matter how you write it, it still sounds my story. It's still my story. It tells about me. I mean, it has that content that in as much as you run about the story, like in the movies, they put the suspense, the side of the story, the emotional side of the story. In as much as you add or subtract from my story, it still tells what I want to tell. It still portrays, it still, captures the minds of people, how I would want my story to capture their minds. And I feel like whatever that I'm doing here on this earth planet, I am writing a story. I am writing a story. How would I want my story to be told after I'm dead and gone? He who picks up my biography, my story to tell, how is he going to tell my story? It's a question I've been asking myself. And the irony is that I'm not dead, I'm not gone, I'm here. And people hear about me. People also hear about you. People hear about you, referrals and recommendations. People whispers into people's ears about you, about me. What you gonna do? That's gonna make that recommendation positive about you. That means the life you are living still here must be lived goodly. Must be lived goodly. The story you are in the making, in the writing process, you must be conscious of that story. Yeah, inevitably, sometimes things happen. One or two, you cannot be pure, you cannot be upright to the end. But the end point of it, what is going to define your story? What is going to be the foundation of your story? What is going to be the backbone of your story? What is going to be the definition of your story? What is going to be the standpoint of your story? In as much as there are lapses and there are either few or more, unwanted parts or discomforting parts or disaligning parts of the story, in the end, what does it tell about me? What does it tell about you? It makes me want to. And I believe that you are writing your own story. I am writing my own story. The irony is, nobody tells it better than you tell it. You are writing your own story and you are the teller of your story. It's something that I'm the same person acting my story, writing my story, and I'm telling my story. How do I put these three things together? It's of a conscious mind that whatever that I am doing must leave a note, must leave a footprint. I'm gonna be gone, but something must be told about me. That we were here. I was once here. I did this. I made sure this came into being. I opened this drift. I made sure this thing came into existence. I blocked this. I stopped that. I invented that. I started this. I began this movement. Great people, they never die. I've never seen any great man die. They're not even buried. They come to die. They don't die. Nobody dies. I've never heard any great man dying before. No, I've not heard, not for once. Mention names. Nobody is dead. But people who choose not to tell and write and act their own stories. Someone is telling their stories the way they want to tell it. My question is, how are you going to tell your story? How are you acting up your story? How are you putting up your story? How are you acting out your story? And how do you want someone to even tell your story? If we can act our story in a way that are going to be untouchable, powerful, in a manner and form that the props director, the cinematographer, the script writer, the screenplay writer or whatever, the casting manager or whatever, the producer, in as much as they run about the story, it still portrays me. Like it's read out like I'm reading my story to you. I feel inspired this day that I come your way. And I know that you know this already. It's not new. It's not something I'm teaching you now. It's something you know. I'm just reiterating, making emphasis, just reminding ourselves that the life that we are living even now has been lived already. The life we are living now has been lived already. That whatever the end point of your life, that end point is looking at the beginning point. So the man that will die, that is you, that will die in 20, 30 years coming, is looking at how you will match up with him. Yeah, I feel it's something I feel like I have lived this life already, and I'm waiting for me myself. I am here, but I have got me myself also somewhere. 20 years, 30 years, or the life, wherever it will take me, or wherever it will end, that man is waiting for me to match up the story, to pair up the story, to make it very perfect. It is either I live up to it or I disappoint him. If I disappoint him, I do not become him. If I perfect it, it's a good note to him. I am him and he is me. Today, if you consider and begin to write your own story the way you would want someone to tell it, I believe it's going to be a standout story. It's going to run through. It's going to resonate. It's going to echo through. Live out ages. Stand the test of time. Be told in centuries, all because you said it, you acted it, you walked it, you talked it, you made it, you wrote it, and you told it the way that is very perfect to be told. I encourage you that you begin to be cautious and conscious of your own story and write it powerfully. Thank you once again. As my name, L.A.M Wisdom, your inspirational speaker. Find me on all social media platforms, from TikTok to Instagram to Twitter to LinkedIn, everywhere. Contact me. I'm a life coach as well. Let's talk for greater impact.